Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we've got a really charming story for you. It's about an essay that dives into creativity, tradition, and technology in a way you probably haven't seen before. We're talking nostalgia, family meals, and a creative team with a pretty big secret.
So, let's start with the question. When you picture a 62-year-old engineer who spent over 4 decades in factory automation, what do you think he writes about in his spare time? Well, I can tell you, heartfelt essays about seasonal food probably aren't at the top of the list. But that is exactly where this story begins.
And this brings us to our author, a gentleman who goes by the name Yama Hiroshi. The contrast at the center of his work it's fascinating. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got this deeply technical career, right? 43 years in manufacturing, working with things like analog circuits and heavy-duty programming. And then, on the other side, you have this incredibly warm, creative passion for writing about family and the simple joys of food. It's that combination that makes his story so special.
Yama Hiroshi was born in Kyoto back in 1962 and spent decades as an engineer. But then, in his 60s, he runs into AI. And after some of that initial frustration that I think we've all felt, he didn't just get used to it, he found a whole new calling. He's now an AI consultant, helping small businesses and other seniors figure out this new tech.
So to really get a feel for his unique approach, we're going to dive into one of his recent essays. It's this beautiful piece that really captures the feeling of early spring in Japan by focusing on 3 special days in March.
The whole essay just weaves together these incredible memories around the food eaten on these days. It all starts on March 3rd with Hinamatsuri, which is also known as the Dolls Festival or Girls' Day. It's a day for celebrating the health and happiness of young girls.
He talks about this special meal, chirashi sushi, that his mother used to make, and he explains the meaning behind everything. Like, the shrimp is for a long life, and the clam soup, because the 2 shells fit together perfectly, symbolizes a strong marriage. It's such a beautiful way of tying food to family and tradition.
But here's where it gets great, and really funny. After painting this perfect, traditional picture, he admits that, well, these days, he usually just grabs his meal from a convenience store. It's this perfect, self-deprecating humor that contrasts the ideal with the reality of our busy lives.
And he does it again. For March 5th, a day called Kiichitsu, he remembers his grandmother taking him out to forage for wild horsetails, and her telling him that their slightly bitter flavor was the real taste of spring.
And then, boom, comes the punchline. He confesses he hasn't actually gone foraging in decades, and when he does buy them from the supermarket, they usually just sit in his fridge until they go bad. I mean, who hasn't been there? And finally, for Fish Day on March 7th, he shares this warm memory of his father's fishing trips. The whole family would eat the catch together, and his dad would joke that eating all that fish makes you smarter.
But of course, the modern reality is that fresh fish is a luxury, so now it's usually just some prepackaged sushi once a month. It's this mix of sweet nostalgia and just total honesty that makes the whole essay feel so human.
So you read this essay, and it feels like it came straight from one person's heart. It's funny, it's personal, it's touching, but who or maybe what actually created it?
Well, let's meet the creative team that's actually credited in the piece. We've got a writer and an illustrator, and they sound like quite the pair.
Okay, so for the writing, we have Luna. The description says she's an essayist who values both warmth and coldness. And for the illustrations, we've got Photon, who's described as a slightly innocent illustrator. You can almost picture them, can't you? They gave them so much personality.
Yeah, there's just one little thing. There's a secret about this team. Luna and Photon are not what they appear to be. And this is where the story takes a really interesting twist.
As it turns out, Luna and Photon are both AI agents. The entire essay, the writing, the humor, the structure, was all created by Yama Hiroshi working with these AI programs. He was the director. He provided the memories, the feelings, the voice, and they helped him bring it all to life. So this totally unique way of creating got Yamahiro Nishiro thinking really deeply about his relationship with technology. He thought about it so much, he actually came up with a brand new word to describe it.
He calls his AI collaborators Aibuku. And no, you won't find that in any dictionary because he literally invented it. And honestly, it perfectly captures his whole philosophy on this.
So here's how we built it. He took 2 existing Japanese words. First, you have aibo, which means a trusted partner, like a buddy, someone you really rely on. Then you have dogu, which just means a tool or an instrument. Put them together, and you get aibogu, a partner tool.
And here's what he says about it.
He says a partner tool is what lies between technology and the heart. So for him, AI isn't some cold, lifeless thing you just boss around. It's a collaborator. It's a partner you think with.
So when you get right down to it, this story isn't about an AI writing an essay on its own. It's about a human being using a whole lifetime of memories and feelings to guide his AI partners, his Aibu-Gu, to tell a deeply personal story. He provided the heart, they helped with the craft.
And that really leaves us with a huge question for the future, doesn't it? As these incredibly powerful tools become available to all of us, maybe the most important creative skill won't be about what any one of us can make alone, but how well we can partner up with our partner tools.